are going to Dallas. Yeah, I think this is in Dallas. Reading from NBC5. Headline: DEA allowed staggering amounts of fentanyl to hit the streets and took no action. Even as it battled the deadliest drug epidemic in American history, the DEA permitted hundreds of thousands of fentanyl pills to hit the streets of New Mexico. Oh, yeah, sorry. This is in New Mexico. I don't know why I put Dallas up top. This is in New Mexico. Between 2023 and 2025, according to 3 current and former DEA agents and government records reviewed by the AP.
You got to understand, this DEA is like the fun mom. We don't mind if you do a little fentanyl.
Yeah.
As long as it's in the house.
Just do it in the house.
Just do it here. And
Yeah.
as long as we're watching you, you can have a little crystal meth, okay?
Yeah.
You know.
If only. DEA, I think that's just called legalizing drugs. That's called legalization. DEA agents repeatedly monitored shipments of fentanyl pills, but did not seize them. Federal prosecutors sought to bring bigger criminal cases against traffickers of a synthetic opioid that the White House last year designated a weapon of mass destruction. Holy shit, I forgot about it. Sometimes I forget about the Trump White House.
Wait, he designated fentanyl as weapon of mass destruction?
A weapon of mass destruction.
Damn.
It follows. If he's going to call them terrorists, then they have to have weapons of mass destruction. Agents and experts, however, said the tactic amounted to a gamble with public safety that potentially imperiled communities in and around Albuquerque and may have violated U.S. Justice Department rules intended to safeguard the public. Quote, "We poisoned our community to make cases," DEA Special Agent David Howell told AP in a series of interviews in New Mexico. "Through our own willful blindness, we get to say we don't really know what happened to the drugs, but 100% we got people killed." So what this story is describing, so the DEA loves to do shit like this. First of all, they will follow a big shipment of drugs to try to get a bigger fish out of it.
Would you rather arrest your fucking local weed dealer or fucking El Chapo? Okay.
Yes. So that's the logic here, but there's just a very deep irony. One, how deep they let it go. Like, we're not talking about, oh, this guy's got like a dime bag of fent. Let's see where he got his dime bag. That's one thing. Right? If you are going to do the drug war, which not a fan of over here, but if you are going to do the drug war, there is some sense in like, all right, let's find out where this guy got his dime bag so we could really get something off the street. But hundreds and thousands of pills, and this whistleblower, he uses the word million. He thinks there is millions of these pills that, again, the U.S. treats fentanyl like it's fucking, the absolute worst, like a comic book villain of a
weapon
drug.
of mass destruction.
Weapon of mass destruction. And let me be clear. Fentanyl, by all accounts, does seem dangerous, right? So I don't want to completely discount that. But to, on one end, try to like propagate its danger to the point of mythology, where they are constantly cops claiming that they are overdosing
Some
on
of my favorite YouTube videos.
From just being near the vibe of it, to, on one end, promote this mythological danger of fentanyl, and on the other side, spend all this time letting hundreds of thousands, millions of pills go all over Albuquerque, New Mexico, a city famous for how deep the epidemic, the opioid epidemic has hit. It just shows like this irony of the drug war. Like, what are y'all even doing here? Is not the point to get drugs off the streets?
You can't have a war on drugs if there ain't no drugs, brother. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't have a job.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there is like a level of truth to that. Like, all of these,
who all benefits? If you let more people have access to drugs and in on the drug market, then you can the prison industry is going to benefit from this. Everybody has a job, just like keeping the cycle of the the job coming in, like, or having employment.
Yeah, this book I've mentioned recently a lot because I loved it. It's called Propaganda, but he does a great job of breaking down this idea of like the reason why we can't seem to get any meaningful reform to this insane bureaucracy of this justice system is not so much that these politicians just genuinely don't agree that there's problems. It's that all of these entities are powerful and are going to do what they can to continue to be powerful and continue to validate their own existence. And so I do think that we see that in this story. We see a kind of toxic incentive system here where we're supposed to believe that this drug war is in good faith just to get these dangerous drugs off the streets. But here we see they instead have this obsession of getting the bad guys, of making arrests, of showing off like this how they're fighting crime rather than the simple task of having less deadly drugs on the street. Letting 1 million pills run wild the streets of Albuquerque is wild. And they're still defending it. They're still defending it like, no, trust us. We know what we're doing. Yeah. This is how we get the real bad guys.
Your cousin that died, his life was worth it because we got this guy off the street. So just hold that to like in your heart, you know?
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, everybody makes money, you know, the drug dealers, the DEA, the prison systems, all like, it's just a money-making machine. And it's just like, when they get to, I mean, the ethics of it is just fucking terrible. Like
I mean, a very simple way to put it, like, if we legalized and regulated drugs, like we do many things and many vices in the U.S., the DEA would hate that. They would lose their jobs. Mm-hmm. I mean, you would think that maybe if this was like a more pure type of a thing, you know, they would be like, oh, like at least it'll be regulated, at least it'll be controlled now. But look, we know. I mean, I'm pretty much speculating here, but it's speculation based off of what we know about police's self-described politics and what we know about all these agencies doing whatever they can, spending money, lobbying to keep their budgets expanding. That's what they seem to care about more than getting drugs off the streets, as we see in this story right here.
Yeah.
But let me get back to the story. The DEA has long contended it would not be plausible to seize every shipment of every drug, but the strategy of allowing staggering amounts of counterfeit painkillers to hit the streets shocked several veteran agents who spoke with AP. Albuquerque, which has a neighborhood so besieged by drugs it's known as war zone, and other regions in New Mexico remain at the epicenter of the fentanyl epidemic. While overdose deaths nationwide fell 14% last year, government data show New Mexico tallied a 21% spike. Alex Ubalez, who served as U.S. Attorney in New Mexico from 2022 through last year, said authorities at times allowed drug shipments to go unseized as part of a broader effort to gather intelligence and build cases against major drug traffickers. He said the approach reflected his office's limited resources and his belief that prosecuting larger organizations can have a bigger impact than interdicting every suspected drug transaction. Last year, DEA recorded the largest fentanyl bust in its history in Albuquerque. Quote, "The bigger fish are worth catching," Ubala said, "and that will save more lives." The DEA said in a statement that the investigative decisions at issue were lawful, reasonable under the circumstances, and consistent with department guidance.
They should ask to give one of those like post-arrest press conferences where they put all the drugs and shit on the table and they're like, look, but theirs would just be empty. And like, no, this would be where the drugs we had caught, but we let everybody do the drugs. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, but imagine
we were trying to catch the big bad guys like over here, and it's just like empty chairs. We haven't caught him yet.
He's out there. He's selling drugs right now. But when he's selling. But
we assume so. Imagine, he's got to be out there selling drugs somewhere.
It's going to be a kilo right here. It's going to be some weed. man, when we get they're doing it right now, but just use your brains. Like,
Yeah.
that is insane. That they're just fucking literal threats to public safety. These people, like, legitimately, just like actually dangerous to us all. I mean, were some of the pills fake? And they're like, I think I read in the articles like some of the pills were fake or some shit like that. So it's just an insane way to stop crime, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, like,
unethical as fuck.
Once you look at the drug war and see its complete lack of results, that's the thing. A lot of people, when they first hear legalize all drugs, they reasonably think, oh, that's bad. Like, more drugs is bad for society. And that is true. But then once you look at the results of the drug war and seeing how it has done nothing to combat drugs, like any vice we try to make illegal, prostitution's illegal in America. So does that mean there's no prostitution except for in Las Vegas? We know that's false. Same with drugs. Same with any vice. The solution is to legalize and regulate it and make it so that it's not as bad as it possibly could be. And then you come and look at this statistic in New Mexico, where while nationwide overdose deaths fell 14%, in New Mexico, it tallied a 21% spike. These DEA agents were just watching a million pills float around on purpose, following them around while people are dying on the streets. It's like, okay, we're not going to legalize drugs. We're going to criminalize drugs. We're going to send people to jail. We're going to ruin families. We're going to target minorities. That's your job, DEA. And the DEA is like, well, we'll just wait a second. Let's let people keep overdosing and just trust us.
This is some Uvalde police level of neglect.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It's kind of a funny story to try to talk about, because it's like, DEA, can you do your job? And it's like, actually, I don't want you to do your job. I don't think this should be anyone's jobs. But if this is our approach to fighting the opioid epidemic, that is our approach, can you at least try to do it then? Can you please?
Yeah. How is that you winning the war on drugs if you just like, all right, we're going to let everybody die and then capture. Once it's over, then we'll capture all the bad guys. You didn't. That don't even work in a superhero movie.
Yeah.
When Avengers had to stop Thanos, nigga, sorry, but it wasn't like they were like, let them win and then we going to reverse time. And then like, we going like, they don't let the bad guys win.
Yeah.
And then beat them. They like stop as much destruction as possible. It's just
that makes sense.
My moral code is based off of comic books.
Yeah.
That's I see everything.
My judgments come from Judge Mathis. But no, I think the overall takeaway from this story is how absurd, like, the DEA's role in our country is to treat a medical, like a health epidemic, like the DEA, the fact we have prohibited it has created these criminal enterprises in the first place. And it shows that when you look at the DEA, their purported job, their will, what they're trying to do is not even seemingly to get drugs off the streets. It's to make their big busts. It's to put people in jail. That has been the one success, the only success we could say about the drug war is that it has put people in jail. It has destroyed families. If you think that's a success, that's on you. But it clearly shows from this story that is all the DEA cares about. They are not actually trying to stop no drug epidemics.
Not to say this doesn't personally hit home, but I've lost my own drug dealers to the drug war.
Damn.
The war of drugs is, this affects all of us.
Damn.
You never know how close it can get.
I get it. That's why you kept trying to change the subject, talking about Marvel, because it hurts you too much.
If the DEA could Thanos snap back all the people that OD'd on the pills that they just let flood the streets, then I'd be like, okay, I saw your strategy in the long game, but you can't. So you can't have dead. You are responsible for their lives. It's like, what's the cost? What's the saying? The idiom when it's like, it's like some real fucking. It's like the idiom where it's like it was worth the ends justify the means
yeah.
type shit.
Yeah.
This is some real like. I don't know if people
The means do not justify the
Yeah.
ends. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the means are kind of stupid.
The means are insane.
The
Means are.
It's like when you just glance at the means in it.
Yeah.
At just the instance, you're like, that's a dumb idea, man. You kill a bunch of people, but
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, crazy stuff going on in the DEA.